What's up, guys? So today we are going to talk all about the Battle Pass and real-time PvP arena. Emotions are all over the place. People are not quite sure how they feel. A lot of people are unhappy with the game mode, but for a variety of reasons. So I surveyed my Twitch chat, my Discord server, and I basically floated a lot of ideas to people. We talked about the pricing, we talked about the time investment, we talked about the matchmaking, the quality of the gameplay, and just a handful of things that pretty much everyone dislikes. And yeah, we're going to get into what seems to be the general consensus on feedback for this game mode. So let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about the Battle Pass and the real-time PvP arena. And what's interesting is in the game, those two modes, if you want to call them that, are really one game mode. Real-time PvP arena doesn't have too much purpose without the Battle Pass, and the Battle Pass has pretty much no purpose without the real-time PvP arena. But what's interesting is that they don't necessarily have to be linked, and in their own way, they at least should be separate game modes in some capacity. So we're talking about them both here because they're kind of one thing in the game currently. But yeah, we're also going to discuss aspects of one but not the other at times. They're also somewhat entirely separate things. So first things first, we're going to talk about the pricing. So that really just applies to the Battle Pass. There's a free tier and you can get rewards. And then there is a paid premium tier that you unlock for $20. And then you also have the option instead to spend $40 to unlock the premium tier and get 30 levels immediately of the 100 total levels. And so a lot of people have been asking about whether or not it's worth it to buy the premium tier and whether or not it's worth it to buy the extra levels. Generally speaking, it is worth the $20 to get the premium tier. If you're going to be putting in a lot of work to fill out the Battle Pass anyway, the value you're getting for your $20 to get the premium tier is definitely worth it and better than almost any $20 offer in the game. Obviously, if you're not going to be putting in the time to fill out the Battle Pass, then you're not getting very much for your $20. And as for the additional $20, you do not have the option to upgrade that later. So if you buy the premium tier, you can't at a later date buy those 30 levels, but you can complete most, if not all, of the Battle Pass and then decide to unlock the premium tier and go back and collect all of the rewards. Roughly 62% of my viewers that I surveyed felt that the $20 for the Battle Pass premium tier was far too high. Personally, while I think that $20 is on the high end for a Battle Pass, I don't think it's an unreasonable amount. Any more than that, I probably would object to. $25, $30, anything more than that, I would be saying this is way too high. Generally speaking, I see Battle Passes for $10, $15, but on the expensive end, $20 is not uncommon in this space. So I do wish it was closer to 10 or 15, but personally, I don't find 20 unreasonable. But the majority of the viewers that we surveyed did think that it was too high. Also, if you want to decide for yourself if the $20 is worth the extra rewards, a little bit later in this video, we're going to talk about specifically the rewards and what extra you get from that premium tier. So you'll be able to decide that. So just stay tuned. So now we're going to talk a bit about the time investment required for this mode, which essentially involves playing a lot of the real-time PvP arena. There's definitely some variables here, but generally speaking, majority of the players that we surveyed said that the time investment was too much, but it was only a slight majority. As of right now, this is still while Blitz is a very time-consuming mode, and so the going theory is that with the introduction of simming Blitz, people will be playing a lot less Blitz, and so theoretically they shouldn't feel the time investment into real-time arena as much because they are no longer being required to spend a lot of time in Blitz, essentially. But even so, again, of the people that we surveyed, a slight majority of people felt that this mode was just demanding too much of their time. A lot of people have been asking, well, how much time does it actually require? So assuming that you did not spend the extra $20 to get 30 levels, there's a few different ways that you can actually go about completing all your objectives. And please note, if you're a newer player that doesn't have a lot of the characters leveled up or just doesn't have access to some of the characters that you would need, of course, this will take longer. But for the average player who for the most part is going to be able to complete all the objectives, this is about what you're looking at. On average, we tracked it, and as long as you're willing to do it every day, it comes out to about 2 hours a day. And that's because it takes about 5 to 6 hours if you were to do it in one straight session to do all of the weekly objectives. And then it should take about an hour each day to do all of the daily objectives. However, if you are trying to complete the full Battle Pass, you do not have to do all of the objectives. You don't have to do all the dailies or all of the weeklies. So really, you've got kind of two options, and of course you can go somewhere in the middle of these two options. You can essentially do all of your daily objectives, and then most of your weekly objectives. However, when it comes to the takedowns, which are the really, really lengthy ones, you would only need to do the 225 takedowns weekly. And if you combine that with getting all your daily objectives done and getting the other weekly objectives done, you will be able to fully max out and complete your battle pass. You do not have to do the 350 or the 550. Alternatively, you can get all of your weeklies done, including all of the knockouts up to 550, and then you would only actually have to do 1 day of dailies. So you can literally spend roughly 6, maybe 7 hours, 1 day a week to bang it out, and you would only have to do that 4 times a month. That is quite an amount of time, but again, you can spread that out over a week as well. That's what you're looking at as far as the time investment. All right, so now we're going to talk about the matchmaking, and in general, pretty much everyone is unhappy with the matchmaking, and not just unhappy. Generally speaking, people have indicated that they're very unhappy with the matchmaking. 4 out of 5 viewers that we surveyed felt that the matchmaking was unfair and or imbalanced. If you stick around for the footage at the end of this video, you can kind of see that in action. I actually have some suggestions that I think would greatly improve the quality of the matchmaking and allow a lot of players to face other players in matchups that felt and handled a lot more fairly. But we'll talk about that when we get to the gameplay. So moving on to the rewards. Generally speaking, the consensus of the player base, at least from the people that I've surveyed, is that they're somewhat happy with the rewards. Roughly 60% of viewers felt that if they were only going to do the free tier of rewards, that it wasn't going to be worth their time to fully unlock all of the rewards on the free tier. But about 40% of the viewers did feel it was worth, so only a slight majority felt that it wasn't worth their time. However, over 75% of the viewers feel that the premium tier rewards are worth the time investment. So at least on the paid tier front, pretty much everyone is happy with the overall rewards. If you want to decide for yourself, here's a quick summary of what you'll get. If you fully complete the battle pass and you are just doing the free tier, you will get 50 power cores, 80 advanced basic catalysts, 200 advanced something catalyst, armor, damage, whatever, 45 Baron Zemo shards, 80 tier 3 training modules, 250 superior basic catalysts, 150 of the superior whatever catalysts, 30 gear tier 14 minis, 38 gear tier 15 minis, and 5 silver promotion credits. As for the premium tier, which again you unlock for $20, in addition to everything you just heard, 500 power cores, 144 advanced basic catalysts, 288 advanced whatever catalysts, 55 more Baron Zemo shards, 100 tier 3 training modules, 600 superior basic catalysts, 750 superior whatever catalysts, 87 gear tier 14 minis, and 54 gear tier 15 minis, as well as 10 silver promotion credits and 5 gold promotion credits. And finally, we're going to talk about the quality of gameplay. Generally speaking, the majority of players are reporting that they're generally unhappy with the quality of the gameplay. And I think that really that's the catastrophic failure of this mode. I think the battle pass is okay, but it is tied to gameplay that has to take place in the real-time PvP arena. And especially in my personal opinion, I think that the real-time PvP arena is a pretty big flop. So we're going to get into why. One thing that I want to highlight regarding how to approach making the gameplay in this mode more fun is trying to really nail down how many people want to put their game in auto versus how many people want competitive matches that they have to sit there and attentively play. About 40% of players preferred a game mode where they could just put it on auto, whereas about 50% said they'd rather have fair, balanced matches that they can try to play competitively, and about 10% of players said they didn't care either way. Right after this, we're going to talk about some things that just flat out pretty much everyone doesn't like, super easy to just get rid of because it's not doing anything for anyone. So we'll get to that stuff, but I did just want to really quickly talk about some alternatives that I'd mentioned to make this game more fun. So the first thing that I threw out, of course, was just balanced quick match, which is the exact same matchmaking. You still decide your team ahead of time. However, it would be forced balanced, which would mean that you wouldn't run into crazy power disparities. You could still load into a team that just hard counters you, or for an objective, you might be using a character that's just not that good compared to the enemy team that you come up against. But if the teams are at least forced to be balanced, it would still require players to have to get their character up to gear tier 9 to be able to use them. But then the matches themselves wouldn't be absolute landslides where you run into 200,000 power differences between the teams. roughly 60% of viewers said that they would prefer the balanced quick match. An additional 20% were saying that they would not prefer that, and another 20% were saying that they were indifferent. Another alternative that I proposed is something that I decided to call the partial draft. The idea behind a partial draft would be that there is a draft involved, and before you immediately start tuning this out, just give me a second. It would involve 3 characters quick picked, so 3 characters would just be loaded in with you, and then each player would have to draft exactly 2 characters. There'd be no bans, no rejects. You would be able to have mirror matches, so you wouldn't have to worry about using a character that's on your opponent's team. That would be fine. And this is the big one though. If this were implemented the way, at least that I was proposing it, there would not be any increase to the time investment to complete all the objectives. And since the additional little bit of drafting would make the overall matchmaking process take a little bit longer, the objectives themselves would be scaled down to require a bit less time to complete. In theory, it should lead to the players having more fun because at least they get to see the enemy team and decide if they want to try to pick to complete an objective or if they want to try to pick for the win. And at least there's a little bit of skill involvement there instead of just loading into a match that you're definitely going to win or definitely going to lose. About 40% of players said that they would be indifferent. 20% indicated that they dislike any and all forms of draft. And about 40% said that they would prefer that partial draft option. Pretty much unanimously, the major objection to draft was it takes too long. I don't want even more time added to this, which is of course a fair complaint. Finally, one suggestion that pretty much everyone seemed to be in favor of, and I really hope that this gets implemented. Over 85% of players said that they would prefer the Battle Pass objectives to be able to be completed in any and all game modes. Being able to score your knockouts or use abilities with certain characters in Blitz or in Raid or in Arena would make this much more tolerable because you wouldn't feel like you were otherwise toiling away in a game mode where the only benefit from pouring time into it was explicitly getting the rewards for the Battle Pass. And the way to not make the real-time PvP arena a complete waste of a game mode, you could still have objectives that would say things like play 10 matches in the real-time PvP arena or something like that. Or you could offer people double points for any of these things that they manage to pull off within that mode, but still not requiring them to play a heavy amount of the mode. Pretty much unanimously, people would prefer to be able to fill out the Battle Pass while playing other aspects of the game. And lastly, there's a couple just glaring major flaws with the Battle Pass real-time PvP arena system that pretty much everyone is bewildered by, so we're going to just kind of mention those here. The first is when you're playing against someone and they quit out of the match, you essentially get denied knockouts towards your quest. You can queue up into a match and someone can see your team, and as soon as you ability block one of their characters and stun one of the others, they go, you know what, I'm not going to win, I'm out, and they just quit because they're trying to save themselves time. By quitting out, they've gotten 0 progress towards their objectives, and you don't get any knockouts, so you get no progress either. And what ultimately ends up happening is a completely unfun waste of the time of all parties involved. Either do give players credit for knockouts when the opponent quits, just give them full credit, or have the AI ready to take over so that they can actually play out the match and get the knockouts. Is not fun, it's not good for anyone, nobody likes it, make it stop. And another interesting quirk about the Battle Pass real-time PvP arena system that pretty much seems to be irking everyone is that some of the objectives can either be unable to be completed by certain players or kind of heavily encourage unfair matchmaking and matches that waste a lot of people's time. An example is the Doc Ock objective, where you have to use Doc Ock's abilities. Many players do not own Doc Ock, and even if they decided, you know what, okay, to complete this Battle Pass, why not? I'll buy Doc Ock. They don't have that option. If his legendary event isn't literally going on in the same week, they don't even have the option to spend money to complete that quest. Not that they should. The point is, you've given them a quest that they can't do. That's not fun. That's just kind of adding insult to injury. So nobody likes that. And additionally, the quests are all over the place in terms of what they require. I had a quest earlier that was encouraging me to use defenders, whereas someone else, of course, had the quest encouraging them to use Doc Ock. And so we ended up in matches where I'm trying to use my defenders team into their Dr. Octopus, and it went about as you can expect, which was I was just knowingly loading into matches where I was going to get completely destroyed, and that's not a good time. No one likes that. So don't make players do that. In closing, the main frustration with this isn't so much the exact specifics of the battle pass or the rewards or the time. It's really that the real-time PvP arena is being forced on people, but it's not that fun. A lot of it is just putting teams on auto. Putting teams on auto and throwing them in is not gameplay. It is just a time sink and a grind, and it's not fun. Many of them I'm loading in, and the person I'm playing against has no hope and is just going to get taken apart. Trying to force a game mode on people where the actual play pattern is you load in, the second you load in, you know the only way this is going to go is you getting destroyed, and then just kind of sitting there and watching your team get blown apart, knowing that no ability you can press and nothing you can do is going to matter because you are using a far worse team trying to complete an objective against the team that you're facing. It's just not fun. No one enjoys it. Forcing people to go in there and lose, it's just a bad time. If you want to see why so many people are saying that the game mode is not fun, I think you should check out this footage. And it's a almost 200,000 power punch up. All right, I got this. What are we up against? Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, Emma, Doc Ock, and Phoenix. Easy win for defenders. 200k punch up. Watch this. You're about to see why they call me the boss. All right, this is an easy win. Yeah. They're all gear tier 14. I don't give a shit. All right, 3 legendaries and Emma Frost. That's nothing. This is how you play like a G, right?
You got this. I believe in you.
Definitely gonna win. All right, first what you do, you throw up the counters on Daredevil. Just wait for it. It's coming, right? Ready? They throw some slows, but who cares, right? We're defenders, so we heal that shit. It's no problem. And then we're gonna use JJ's cleanse as soon as it's JJ's turn. Just we're waiting for JJ to go. I think she stepped out, but she'll be back. And when she gets back, we're gonna cleanse. So in the meantime, we'll put the defense up. So they ain't gonna hit us for shit. Okay, maybe they flipped a bunch of them, but that's fine. When Iron Fist gets his next turn, I actually forget that. When Daredevil gets his next turn, you know what? Never mind. That was bad RNG is what happened there. That was super fun. I really enjoyed that. You know what? I can't wait to do that again. Easy wins. Let's go. All right, we're gonna focus out Ebony Maw. It's gonna be a piece of cake. Watch this. The counters go up. And now, as soon as someone AoEs, you'll see. It's going to be just devastating. Boom, the dodge. OP defenders got this. 300,000 power punch up. Nothing. Some offense downs. Those aren't going to hurt us. We got a JJ. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Yeah, so he dodged all the counters. So what? It doesn't matter. All right, because we got a JJ. And as soon as JJ gets to go, you're going to see. Everything's going to be fine. JJ's going to carry us to victory. Any minute now. Boom, we're firing off the offense down Yo-Yo ult for massive damage. Look at that. Juke the Greg. Just you wait. Any minute now. Wait, what happened? You asshole! Last time he knew he was losing, he rage quit. God damn it! I have got to stop trying to ability block Falcon. This guy literally blocks it every time. Oh my god, am I gonna kill this guy before he gets a turn? Ooh, I might.
Please.
Ooh, I might literally kill him before any of his characters go. Here we go. Yes! X23. He literally just got to watch. He loaded in and got to spectate the whole thing.
Nice.
Zero damage dealt. Super fun! I think this video's gone on long enough, but yeah, that's been my experience so far with the real-time PvP arena and the battle pass. So, of course, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to you guys in the comment section. What do you guys think? Did that pretty accurately sum up your feelings and your experiences, or are you going through something completely different because you're at a different stage in the game? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you guys very, very much for checking out this video. Huge shout out to Livepool for editing this video. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and shave your eyebrows. Otherwise, I will see you guys real soon. Until next time. Peace! Well, we'll contact support. You guys all saw that bug, right? So we'll contact support. I was using my 350,000 power defenders team in the real-time PvP arena required by my daily objectives, and I encountered a 650,000 power team. I seem to have lost that match, and I'm not sure why. It should have been an easy win. I don't get it. Please help. All right, support, please help. Because yeah, that's clearly a bug.